So Mythgard's a fully digital card game that's available on Steam as well as on mobile. In my experience, Mythgard does a really good job of marrying the deck building depth that Magic offers to some of the more interactive elements that Hearthstone tends to have through its combat system, to mitigating the resource variance that we experience in Magic in a really nice way that keeps a lot of the deck building depth where Hearthstone tends to lose it. So, let's just go ahead and dive on into some games here with this red-green Reanimator deck, and I can kind of talk through some of the different mechanics as we play. So, the big thing to know, so the combat system and the resource system for Mythgard are very distinct from Magic. The core thing to know about the resource system in this game is instead of putting lands into your deck, you can take any card in your hand and burn it to gain a resource. So, for example, I'm going to take this red card here and drag it down here, which will then give me one resource here and one total resource and one red gem. Yeah, all of Mythgard is fully cross-platform. Any cards you have on mobile will be available on your desktop and vice versa. So this deck that I'm playing is a Reanimator strategy. So the way we get things into our bin is we activate our power here, and when we activate our power alternates between doing two different things. The first time we activate it, it does a damage to our opponent, and then we discard a card from our hand. So in this case, I'm going to discard this 6-drop, which is a 4/5 with Frenzy, Blast 2, and Swift. So very powerful top-end card here. And then the second time I activate my power, it lets us draw a card. So our power kind of alternates between discarding a card and drawing a card. So it serves as an enabler to get something in our bin. And then the way we actually get the things from our bins into play is through this card here, Hopeless Necromantic. So Hopeless Necromantic is a 2/3 for 3 that says when it dies, it's replaced in the lane that it's in by the bottom minion in our discard pile. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out here, and I'm going to deploy it in this lane right here.
What is lost? So
when you play minions in this game, they get deployed to one of 7 lanes on either side of the board. And the way combat in this game works is minions can attack other minions, similar to Hearthstone, but similar to Magic. When your minions are attacking other minions, when your minions are attacking other minions, you can't just attack past things that are blocking them. So when you select a minion, it attacks any of the 3 lanes in front of it. And if there was a blocker in any of these lanes, my opponent, I would be forced to attack their blocker. So I'm going to go ahead and hit them for 2 here. Now, this has to die in order to bring something back from my discard pile. But I conveniently have Wings of Abaddon here, which allows me to sacrifice a minion for an effect. So this is a 4/1 with Rush, so it gets to attack the turn it comes into play. And it has an activated ability where I can sacrifice one of my minions to give it Immortal till end of turn. So now this can attack in here, which will deal 5 when it attacks. And then I got my big 6-drop back out of my discard pile. So things can't attack the turn they come into play unless they have Rush. This thing's actually kind of scary because it's got Overrun, so it can attack into my 4/1 here, kill this, and then trample over, basically. Overrun works like trample. Any extra damage they have for my minion goes to my face. Yeah, this is basically our max best curve, right? So this thing's got Frenzy, so it can attack twice. It also has Swift, so it can move and attack. So this card's fairly mobile, and it's good at hitting their face a bunch. How is the color identity in this game? So this game tends to focus on color identity being Vorthos or theme based, more so than having your color identities be mechanic based, which I think is actually a really good way to do it because it avoids a lot of those kind of feel bad moments that you have in Magic where like, oh, I'm playing mono black and can't interact with enchantments, or I'm playing a color combination that can't interact with artifacts. So all the colors can do most things, but the way in which they go about doing those things tends to differ based on how the color approaches it. Just like in Magic, you can play any mixture of colors that you would like. So this card has a mechanic called Blast 2. So it's actually going to be really sweet. So this card has a ton of keywords on it. So Swift means it can move and attack. So it can move over. And it has Frenzy so it can attack twice. And when I attack here, Blast does 2 damage to everything on either side of where it attacks. So I can go hit you for 4, deal 2 here. Hit you for 4 again, deal 2 here again. And then I have Firesong Prodigy here, which when this comes into play, it creates an ignition spell in my hand. So it basically gives me a shock, and then I can use ignition to kill this. And then I have 2 remaining resources, so I can use my power to deal a damage to them. And then I get to look at 2 cards and draw one of them. I would love the drawings of Abaddon. This is a really, really sweet curve out for us this game. Just like, bin to fatty, reanimated it right away. There are counter spells in Mythgard. So there's not a stack-based priority system. You play almost entirely on your turn. There is a single card in purple that allows you to play a card on your opponent's turn, but those are more the exception than the norm. In general, this game does not have a priority system like Magic does. This card seems kind of sweet in general. The mixture of keywords on this are really powerful. Swift and Blast is super strong together. I was watching the Banthopter vid and heard you might be on tonight, so I decided to give you my resub. Thanks for the 4 months, Risu. I appreciate that. Yeah, Frenzy 2 for sure. So one of the things this deck has is I'm playing 2 copies of Dashing Ringmaster, which gives other friendly minions we control with strength 4 or less rush. So I've kind of prioritized putting minions in this deck that meet that 4 or less. And then I get to rush this in and hit them for 4, and then I can burn a card and use my power to kill them. That was an impressive showing. That was definitely a game where everything went right for us, right? Like, if I could pick, I think it had something to do with the fact that they died from my power and my disc had an activation gen. Yeah, turn 4 Windfury was really nuts there. We can do things while we're waiting in the queue. I think I opened some packs and I have some auto unmake. The economy in this game, I'm a whale in everything, but as far as like acquiring cards go in this game, I feel like they have a good mix. It's a mixture of both Hearthstone's dusting and crafting and also having wild cards. So like there's wild cards for specific rarities, but you can also dust cards that you don't want and craft specific ones as well, which is nice. Alright, so what do I want to burn to start here? Yes, you can use your power every turn as long as you have resources to do so. I'm gonna burn Duskwing Angel to start. Ejectee, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream this evening. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and burn a green card here just in case I draw Necromantic next turn. Blast my opponent here. I'm gonna bin the stag. Yes, the burned cards are not just gone. They go back into your deck, and you can redraw them later. I can actually show you. So I pulled it up in the last game, but I didn't mention it. So on the right side of the screen here, there's an arrow that has an in-game deck tracker built in. All the software surrounding this game is just so well done. And you can see here that Duskwing Angel that I had burned, there's one orange copy here. So I have one burned copy of that in my deck currently. And hey, look, we drew a Hopeless Necromantic. So that's sweet. This stream was, in fact, pre-recorded before a live studio audience. All right, so I'm going to hit their face here. And I think I'm going to burn... the gamayun. So this is a good example of the resource system in this game. So this card costs 3 total, but it also requires explicitly 2 green gems. So even though I don't really want Extract Life right now, because I need 3 red gems for it eventually, I need to burn a green card in order to play Necromantic here. Maybe it's wrong to burn my 4-drop there, just because that could be something to play next turn. But I feel like I could just play Muse, or maybe even Ringmaster next turn and be fine. So I deployed this here, so that means if their 4/4 wants to attack this turn, it has to attack this, and if it kills this, I get a stag here, and then the stag actually picks the Necromantic back up, which is hot. When this comes into play, it picks up a minion from my discard pile.
Hit the road.
So opponent had a really good series there. So when this comes into play, it returns the opposing minion to its owner's hand. And when Necromantic brings things back into play, it makes them ephemeral, which means if they change zones, they just die. I'm going to go ahead and hit them with this. I'm going to burn this Extract Life. I'm going to play Muse over here. Magmataur was actually a great draw here. So Magmataur is a 3/3, then when it comes into play, it deals 3 damage to all minions in the opposing 3 lanes. So I'm actually going to get to drop Magmataur in this lane here on 2 next turn and deal 3 to both of these, killing them.
Fortune favors us.
Probably don't need Necromantic anymore at this point because I don't really have anything useful in my bin. They played a 2/2 here that draws a card and then draws another card. We're going to take a little bit of a hit over here, but overall I feel like we're in an okay spot at the moment. So when this guy dies, we draw a card, which is great. I'm going to hit their face. Getting that back with Necromantic's actually not bad. So I'm going to bin the trapezists here. And then Magmataur is going to come down here and trade with both of these. So opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards in hand. So we're a little bit ahead on board and a little bit up on life total. But their hand is still chock full of things. That's true. I did say trade is going to get to just eat them up. You are correct. Does in fact just gobble them. Dashing Ringmaster's also pretty sweet with Hopeless Necromantic, because you can, like, Ringmaster, this hits them, gives rush, and then whatever comes back gives rush. This deck's got a lot of really sweet synergies in it. Alright, do I bin my Stairway to Hades here? I kind of feel like I do. This is scary because it gives all adjacent minions rush. Like, do you think I keep Stairway over Windfury? I kind of want to keep Windfury if I'm going to have Dashing Ringmaster out, right? So I'm going to play this here, and I don't know where I want to play this Necromantic. So I could play the Necromantic here and trade with this, and then my 4-1 comes back and I could trade here. I could also play this, eat this, and leave this here. I kind of think I like trading off for both those things. So Ringmaster gives this rush. This trades here. This comes back, has rush, trades here, draws a card. Yeah, their roadmaps on their website, I believe they have 2 sets planned for 2020 for this game. The initial set for this game is pretty large, though. There's 400 unique cards in the first set, so the core set is very large. So I actually gave feedback on this opponent's card back because it is hard to see what their deck is doing. So, one of the developers said they were going to be lightening up this card back in the next patch, which is nice. I think I'm just going to go ahead and play Windfury over here.
Systems optimal.
This thing attacks for 8 next turn. We're just like hoping to not get Gidden Angeled at this point. So this draws a card and then puts a card from their hand back into their deck every turn. Yeah, at the very least, if sleeves are going to be dark like this, they need to be what's the word I'm searching for? They need to have like a border around them. Yes, I agree with that. The battlefield, from a visual perspective, is functional. For reference, for people looking at this and thinking certain things could need work, you should know that this game is actually made by a small indie company. Huh? I think I'm just gonna flip this. I could hit a... I think I'm just in for trapezists here. Oh, trapezists is lethal, right? Because I burn this. Yeah, okay. And then this makes deal 2. I feel bad. I kind of slow rolled them there, but I didn't know where we were going. I didn't know where we were going. I figured it out at the end, but I didn't know where we were going until we got there. Definitely not malice. Was trying to piece it all together. We got there for Exexies. Is this the aggro deck I've been looking for? This might be one of the aggro decks I've been looking for. I've been like trying to find an aggro deck I really enjoy. Yeah, this is like aggro combo kind of. There aren't any 1-drops in here, are there? That could be wrong. It could be wrong to have no 1-drops in here. Like, Duskwing Angel might not be necessary. Calling this aggro is probably not completely accurate either. Might not be completely fair. Deadly, gets energy after attacking, gets 2/2 and is fully healed. Hey, White Sticks, 1 more month until I gain protection for the mods. You cold-hearted better make it count till then. Wow, I'm really surprised they didn't cash this in for a card right away against a red deck, so my trapezists just get to eat it. Just eat it, eat it. Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. Yeah, I agree with that, Robert. There's definitely a lot of variety just from a base color perspective. This card is so good. Just like the fact that minions can attack other minions just like makes this 2/2 with Rush just like so incredibly powerful. Like way more than a 2/2 with haste would ever be in Magic, right? Because like this is like an aggressive card that's also just like removal in a lot of places. Oh, the rarity system. Yeah, if you're someone that hasn't watched Mythgard before, all the cards have different dots in the corner. So this has 4 dots, which tells you that not only is this card a common, but I can have 4 copies of it in my deck. This is an uncommon, so there's 3 dots. I can have 3 copies of it in my deck. This is a mythic. There's 1 dot, so I can have 1 copy. Another nice way that they balance the game. I think I'm gonna burn Ringmaster here. I'm gonna go ahead and play Firesong Prodigy out over here.
Wanna burn?
Still looking for aggro decks, Dorothy Head. Yeah, I can't ignition this as well. They're gonna jump this probably and hit me and shoot this, I assume. This is the 2/3. Yeah. Maybe I should have just detained this. So this has breach. Whenever it connects, it gets to deal 2 damage to anything. And it has teleport, so when they move it, it gets to jump to anywhere. Or when they move it, it gets to move any number of spaces. Huh. I think I'm just gonna trade my Wings of Abaddon here. Oh, you know what? I can hit this and give Slayer. Okay, yeah, let's do that. So I'm gonna hit this and give Slayer. Yeah, plus Trapezists kills it. I'll ditch the ignition. That's better. I leave 2 resources unused here, but that's ideal for sure. This is a game where my reanimate plan's not gonna be of relevance just because like I've got just medium units in here. This trades here, right? Because this is fragile and they're Slayer. They all care about Graveyard Order as of right now. So they've got 6 cards in their hand, but 2 of them are like these power-up cards that their other cards generated, so they're not like quite worth full cards. Raid the tombs? Maybe? I don't know. Like, there tends to be so much crap in your boneyard in the mid to late game. And, like, one of the other things, too, is, like, all of the things you're cheating into play, you can just actually cast them in this game. It's not like Magic's Reanimator decks where, like, you're never casting a Gristlebrand that you've drawn. So I think having something like that is less important to clean up, just because, like, I can just, like, spend 7 or 8 resources and cast my fatties, or like 6 resources or whatever they cost. At this point, I'm becoming a little bit concerned, just because, like, my opponent does still have 4 cards in their hand. I have a draw in the bank from my champion power here. We also might just be able to run them down. This is, oh, now it's a 2-2. Yep. Yes, Born Again plus Disc does work well together. That's for sure. Okay, there's an Unchained. That's nice. Hit you here. Play my 4-1 out over here. So Cerberus is a 3-9 for 6 that attacks all 3 opposing lanes. So if there's no units across from it, it smacks them for 9. Brutal.
Easy money.
That being said, this guy just needs 1 more above him and then he comes back. So I think if I hit this and discard the Born Again, I get to pick that guy back up, right? I think the way that reads, it happens immediately. Yeah, it does. Okay, sweet. Now, do I burn this Born Again and play this out across from here? I think I do. Oh, I should have burned this. I don't have triple red yet. That's awkward. I wasn't paying attention to my resources. Usually decks I play Cerberus in just, like, trivially have that much red, but this one definitely does not trivially have that much red. We'll draw a red card, it's fine. This is a no justice stream, to be fair. To be frank. It's kind of a 9-9, because, like, when you're attacking other minions, it's not a 9-9, right? But it can also clean up multiple smaller units at the same time, which is really appealing. You may move an unoccupied minion to any unoccupied enemy lane. It's a 5/5 for 5. I don't think I've ever seen that card before. So there's a red card. Do I want to burn it and play the Cerberus, though? I'm not sure that I do, actually. I think I actually just want to play the Oak out in the middle. Oak says, whenever one of my other minions dies, they lose 1, I gain 1. I might just hit them with my power and draw a card here. Wings of Abaddon. Sick. Oh, Wings is actually really bad. So I'll take Wings and then I'll burn it. I haven't burned a card yet this turn. Because this gets rid of Rush, right? Oh, while it's occupied, it gets rid of Rush. Maybe I should keep the Wings. Mommy? Listen, Marty, there's a lot going on here, okay? Oh, an overrun? That's scary. They're just gonna, like, pump this up and try and kill me here? Oh, they're gonna kill this? Sure. When this dies, I get to look at my top 3 and draw a card. Draw one of them. I would love a traitorous murmur, thanks. So, this isn't taking this. So this'll trade here, because this comes back to my hand, and then I get to, like, Wings of Abaddon here, hit you for 4, and then play this here.
Do you seek wisdom?
Yeah, this game has a ton of player agency to it. Easily the highest player agency game I've ever played. Born Again also works well with Wings of Abaddon, which is sweet. Again, click on people's profiles to see like what rank they are, what their collection looks like. This looks like a newer player. They're one rank below us. Gold is right before. We each have to discard a card. I'll discard this Born Again. And they have a 6/5. So I'm just gonna slide to the left. Borrow that. Reverse, reverse. Reverse, reverse. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Ooh, Ringmaster's real good. You made this? What if I made this?
Patience.
They're very dead. Yeah, the list of software features in this client is just super impressive. It's super impressive in general, and it's extra impressive when you consider that this is a team of 10 people made this game. There's social features to follow people. You can watch replays. Just most things that you'd expect. They're working on an in-client tournament system coming up soon. You can follow me in client, and the client will let you know when I'm playing, so you can watch my matches even when I'm not streaming. I play on my phone pretty consistently, so occasionally you'll see me pop on even when I'm not streaming. Let's pop out of the queue for a second and look at this. The random vampire seems unnecessary. Let's talk about other slots. So Duskwing Angel doesn't seem very necessary. I kind of don't hate the suggestion of some Raid the Tombs. Some number of Raid the Tombs is fine. Oh, you don't like Muse? I see. I really like Muse. I think Muse with Ringmaster is fine. It's also Muse is also good with koschei. Yeah, Muse is also good with wings. I don't know. No, I think in general your summary is on point, Jin. I think like compared to like Panic Raider and other cards similar to this, I think this is one of the weaker 3-drops in red, but I think in the context of this deck specifically, it has enough synergies to be worth playing. Yeah. Yeah, actually, Fated Firebird here is one split card that I have in my deck, and you can see here, even though this card requires red and green to play, when you burn it, it burns for green. That's its primary color identity here. Hey, Zerks, thanks for the raid. Hope you had a good stream this evening. I kind of want to try 2 Raid the Tombs here, just as a way to draw some cards. I have to cut something if I do that, though. Windfury was also, like, super impressive in those games. I kind of wouldn't mind another Windfury. Yeah, I don't know if I want 1-drops. I kind of feel like it's playing out okay, as is. My curve's not that chunky. We've got, like, 12 2s, 9 3s, 7 4s. I need to cut something. The blast keyword means whenever it attacks a lane, it deals that much damage to the lanes on either side of it. So this hits the lane it's attacking, and then it hits the ones adjacent for 2 as well. Is it blasphemous to cut Stairway? Maybe not. Like, with Hopeless Necromantic and Raid the Tombs, It's probably blasphemous. In the games where you're just like mid-ranging people, stairway's pretty good. I probably don't need 3 muse. It's probably just muse out. It could also be that I don't need this many extract life. I'm gonna cut an extract life. The fact that this card can't gain you life past its toughness kind of sucks, and triple red is also kind of medium. Let's do that. Favorite card, Mythgard. Probably Insurance Broker. Wings of Abaddon is really growing on me, though. Wings of Abaddon with the latest update, since it's free to sacrifice things. Card's pretty sweet. You can also look at the full art in client. You just like click on the little spyglass here. In game, artwork's really well done in this game in general. I'm gonna burn traitorous murmur for now. I think don't need that one till much later. One of the things that I really like about this game is the path that you pick gives you different bonuses when you're on the drop. So this path's bonus is your power costs 0 to activate the first time. My opponent's path bonus is they start the coin with a lucky coin in their hand if they were on the draw. So one of the things Magic really doesn't do well is that it's very play draw skewed as a game, and this application does a much better job of that. And we've got one of our best starts here overall. So I get to burn this trapezist. And then I bend the stag. And next turn I get to drop Hopeless Necromantic into play. And then I can wing sack this to get the stag out right away. Do updates change how individual cards work? Yes, so not always, but they do, because this is a fully digital game, they do balance patches by modifying cards. It's not like Magic where they just ban things. So in fact, their last major update had a variety of balance changes. And one of the things I actually really liked that they did in the last balance patch was, yeah, they buffed a bunch of cards. They didn't just balance by making things worse, which was sweet. So our turn's about to be gasoline. So I get to go ahead and hit them with this. And then I get to go ahead and Wings of Abaddon over here. Sacrifice this. Get my 8/8. My 8/8 picks the Hopeless Necromantic back up for value. This is immortal because it ate something. Eat their thing. Really, really fantastic. Hopefully we don't get Valkyried. If they have, last time we did this, our opponent played a card that bounced our 8/8 and got rid of it effectively, which sucked. But if they don't have a Valkyrie here, we should be ahead in a big way. Can you feel it? You feel it? My opponent feels dead. I can feel it. His ability costs 2 actually, Jin. So pretty sizable change. 4U, 8U. I think I want to play the Muse. The question is, where do I want to play the Muse? I could play the Muse here, and then it trades with this, which is nice. I think that's the line, because I just leave this on Slayer. I think I'm actually burning the Necromantic because the cards, the minion in my bin kind of sucks. So I think I'm going to play the Muse here. So that way these trade if this wants to attack. And I can play the Born Again out over here. I don't want to hit my power this turn. So if I hit my power, it flips off of the Slayer side. And if this doesn't have Slayer, it doesn't trade here. So they're at 10 here. So they need a way to deal with this 8/8. Our board is real big. Thunderclap, yep. Deals 2 damage to me and all of my stuff. We have a lot of draws that kill them here. Do I just try and kill them here? Gosh, if I'd have picked this rush minion back up instead of the reanimate unit. So if I use my power, I get 2 looks, 3 trapezists kill them, 2 firesongs kill them, Wings of Abaddon kills them. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 hits and 31 cards and I'd get 2 looks. Alternatively, I could just play Unchained over here. Yeah, we're at 12, so like there's a chance I could die on the backswing. They don't have that many rush things. I'm just gonna YOLO it. That's pretty unfortunate. Because I also, not only did I not find any of our things that killed them, but I didn't find anything super useful to play out.
In the center ring.
So I would have won this game had I picked the right minion back up with the stag. I should have realized that leaving this in there meant picking the reanimate thing, the reanimator unit back up, the necromantic was bad. Oh, they gave frenzy. I'm dead on board. I'm dead on board because this gives frenzy. Okay, yeah. So I lost this game because I fucked up. And they had a horn. But I'd have won that game if I'd have picked up the right unit. Yeah, so I now have a loss. Our deck is undefeated, but I now have a loss. Horn is not super dead anyways, because if I would have put my 3/9 over here, they wouldn't have been able to attack through it. Their stuff would have died. So rather than trying to kill them, I could have played a little bit defensively. I could have played super defensively and like played a 3/9 and slid my giant unit to the right one to prevent that from happening. Faster. I believe the faster matchmaking pairs you to lower ranks or non-ranked people if both people have it checked. Not going to be using Raid the Tombs anytime soon. Let's burn that off. Opponent's also playing Disc, which most Disc decks are Reanimator variations. Could be. There's a variety of different Reanimator decks in this format, though. So, all the Reanimator decks pretty much play green for Hopeless Necromantic, and then what color they pair with green varies deck to deck.
Surprise!
Green-purple over there, it looks like. I'm going to burn the second Muse. Trapezists here, getting to kill this. Oh, this trades actually. Okay, so this actually means I'm not going to be able to reanimate this game because my bottom minion's crap. But it does mean they don't get to ramp with this. Mommy? Yeah, good game, Shadow Kick. I messed up that game at a couple of points. I think if my stag would have picked up the 2-2 rush, I would have likely pulled it out. Yeah, I went too aggressive. Messed up. Missed on the scry because I was too aggressive. I also picked up the wrong thing with stag in the early game. Yeah, I had like 6 or 7 cards that killed you on the scry. Still wouldn't have needed to gamble there if I'd have done the right thing with the stag, though. It's worth noting.
Surprise!
Ringmaster's also very good with Born Again. Just Ringmaster lets her get in an attack and trade off every turn, which is sweet. I think I'm just burning this. Actually, I guess I'm not casting this anytime soon. Might as well burn this. I could wings over here, eat this, and then they don't get to ramp with this again. I think that's the play. This thing collects energy every time they move with it, and then it eventually ramps them when it dies based on their energy. So if you can kill it before it moves, you're in a better spot.
Looking good.
This deck's got a few different things going on. It's kind of hard to pigeonhole it into just one thing. So I'm going to Ringmaster over here, Born Again next to it. This hits them because it has Rush. Then this can eat the Born Again and then eat this. So I keep my thing around, and then Born Again pops back up to my hand at end of turn. I really feel like this deck's doing a good job of using every bit of the Born Again Buffalo. We had 2 games where we reanimated. But like, yeah, and that's the big difference between these different Reanimator shells. Like, what the Reanimator decks are doing in the games where they're not reanimating really kind of defines the difference between them, it feels like. Oh yeah, I was being cute and wanted to eat this with this, but you're super right. My Born Again just should have eaten this, so I missed 2 points of damage because I'm dumb. You are super right. That being said, let's burn. I think I'm burning this traitorous murmur. And I'm going Oak here, Born Again here, Born Again, trade, they take 1 from Oak. Oak hits them, this hits them. Go. Born Again pops back up. I think with this hanging out in play, having the sideshow chimera in hand is really good. This thing creates 3 power things. Yes, their Born Agains looked a lot worse than ours, I agree. Born Again with Ringmaster is real gross. As is this. Mythgardhub.com. Oh, you know what? Someone linked a tier list thing. Can a sub... If anybody has the tier list article from the subs Discord, can we get a command with that from a mod? That's a question people frequently have. Yeah, me too, MF. Like, this looks got a lot of neat little synergies in it. An evening, Jace. Yeah, we did a couple of Pioneer decks to start things off. We've been playing this deck for almost an hour now. I think we did another 45 minutes or so. Like, exclamation point myth tier, Mythgard tier, there you go, perfect. So this gives the minion across from it. Its strength is locked to 1. So what am I doing here? This is hitting them down to 7. And then this can go here. And these all get rush. And then this can trade here, which does 1 to them. Oh, and it overruns. Yeah, okay. Super dead. We gained a level. All right, let's go collect mission stuff. I like freebies. I actually ran out of dust building decks from the tier list. I had enough dust for like 3 mythics, and I had to craft enough that I actually don't have enough dust for a mythic right now. My collection's pretty full. I'm at 88% mythics at this point. Finding powerful synergies is the best way to approach brewing decks. Find an interaction you like and then shove it into a lot of different things. This artwork is so creepy.
Reporting.
Well, I was going to say we don't really have any. We're not on the. I almost said we're not on the Reanimator plan this game, but then we drew Hopeless Necromantic. I feel like I wait a turn on activating this in case I draw a better fatty. I'm gonna burn Muse to start because Muse kind of sucks against Eco Recruit. Wow. Way to be hostile towards my rush minions. Alright, we got rewarded here. I really just haven't been impressed with the red-orange aggro deck. It just hasn't felt good to me. Like the games I've played with that I've not been like, wow, this is good. So this implies to me they're probably a little bit more controlling than aggressive. This card's a staple in both aggro and control alike. And mid-ranges. Every orange deck plays some number of Eager Recruits pretty much. Just a good quality one-drop all around. Can apply pressure if you're in an aggressive role, but can also trade elegantly. Well, nothing is safe, I suppose.
Do we have a mission?
Guess I might as well trade here. It's just gonna die if they deploy anything else.
What is lost?
What is lost? So if they kill this, I'm gonna get a windfury to pop up here. Yeah, not only is the Twitch integration for this application gorgeous, but the Twitch integration for this game is done by the software developers themselves. You literally just open the game settings, click link Twitch account, and then it all just works. You don't have to like fight with third-party programs and hope that they get updated when a new set releases.
At last.
So they have Pride of Palace here to Pride my Windfury when it comes back. What if I just hit this and then eat this without trading? I kind of like that. And now I can eat this in combat instead of trading with it. And like, if they deploy something here, this'll die, but I think that's fine. I'm gonna burn Wings of Abaddon, because it's pretty unlikely to have Rush with the stuff that they have out. We'll play Firesong Prodigy here, so this can, like, attack, and then Ignition can finish it next turn. Oh, they were going to Winter. Maybe playing this here is wrong, because I could magmataur, kill this inside of Winter next turn. My opponent's path here rotates through 4 different modes. 3 of them give them bonuses. They gain 1, their minions heal, they draw a card. But the 4th one, Winter, makes their minions fragile and take an extra damage on that 4th turn. Something you'll frequently hear me talk about when playing this game is I always forget to keep track of when Winter's coming. Jon Snow would be very disappointed in me. Opponent's down to just 3 cards in their hand here.
How intriguing.
Okay. So, they messed up really badly here. So I get to slide this over, hit here twice, and kill this with Blast because they're currently in Winter. And then I get to burn this and magmataur here to kill this. Just like, we just ended their entire career, chat. It's all over. None of it's left. None of it is left. Playing this deck makes me want to explore this card in other shells. The stat line here is just so absurd.
Looking good.
Looking good. All right, so this can trade here. Just want to make sure I'm not missing lethal. I don't have a 3rd green to play this, unfortunately. Nah, I just don't really have time for other new card games right now, Matthews. I think I just Hades here. this and ignition their face. Go. Even Mythgard, the only reason I'm really able to make time for Mythgard on stream consistently is because Rhino Games offered to sponsor my content with their stuff through the end of the year. So I'll probably still keep doing some into next year, but probably not 2 days a week. It's just hard to, I barely have enough time to like do all the magic I want in a given week.
Fortune.
And magic's literally my full-time job, so. Any other non-magic games, if they're not sponsored segments, it basically has to be on top of magic. And with doing, 30 to 50 hours of magic a week, it can be tough to get through and do that. What's your best way to work towards a deck like this? Do you craft your first deck, story mode to unlock your cards? I mean, it depends on what you're looking to do, basically. Are they dead? Hold on, I think they're dead. If I do this, I have haste, right? Because neither of these are occupied. And then I could just do this and this, right? I'm dumb. And then I could do ringmaster plus muse to deal 4 as well. There are a lot of right ways to eat that recess. Oh, the 2-1 also had Frenzy. Right, it has Frenzy when it comes back. Hades is a wild place, chat. When you come back from Hades, you're a changed person. Gosh, I kind of want... I want a third Fury, I just don't have a cut. I don't think I really want to... I already got a lot of chonky top end. It's probably an appropriate amount of chonky top end. How's Firebird been? Haven't really played it. I think it got spirited the one time we played it. It's a little awkward that Firebird has a 5th point of power, so you can't rush it with Ringmaster, but I think it's plenty playable. The fact that it's agile, like, our deck's often in aggressive positions. This hand's great. We've got our Necromantic. We get to do this bin stag here right away. We're just, we are what's it called? The Wings of Abaddon away from an ideal opener here. You want a living mountain? You just want the old uncastable living mountain? Get out of here. Reporting. Ooh, that's a good one. So I was gonna daring trapezists, but now I'm just gonna born again here. So these can trade off. Out of non-games to the flood/screw we had at the MC today was astonishing. I mean, not really. Not if you've played Magic before. Magic has an incredible number of non-games all the time in every format.
What is lost?
And something I've talked about before on stream is I honestly think if a new game was created today with the number of non-games that Magic has, it would get laughed out of most design rooms. People would just be like, nah, this is like a bad joke, right? Wings. Rats. Hashtag never lucky. So what am I doing here? I think I'm burning. It does, there are wings on the card, that's true. Those are some wings. She is a harpy. I think I'm gonna like trapezist, hit this, and then like play Born Again over here. So trade up there. Play Born Again here. Pass. Mommy? I probably want to get this into play, just so, like, if it dies, we can start building up dorks on top of it. I mean, even this is pretty okay for us, right? Because, like, this is going to get to... Oh, they're in winter. This is actually really good. So, like, they're in winter, so this is fragile, and I have Slayer, so I get to trade my Born Again for their 4/4. That is a sick uptrade. Pretty far off of doing that, so let's burn this. Yeah, budgeting. I don't even know if this card's good. I would not recommend crafting this card. If you didn't open this, I would caution against crafting it. And third Windfury sounds great. Windfury's been super sweet. Yeah, I don't know. Mixed feelings for sure. Huh? I'm gonna take the trapezists just because I kind of need a third red at some point, right? So that gives everything blight, so things are gonna slowly die. I'm gonna burn this like I talked about. I'm gonna play Ganyam over here, which allows me to divination. Play Born Again in the middle. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to control what's in my bin a little bit with this Read the Tombs, right? So let's bin this Necromantic. Take the Necromantic. I also can't burn this, and I can burn this. This is still gonna die to blight, so it doesn't really matter. Well, I guess Raid the Tomb is a little bit awkward, because this is going to be one of my bottom two cards. I don't really want to exile this. Oh, you know what? This is agile, which means it attacks past blockers. So I should have put this 4/4 in this lane too, so that way they have to put 3 blockers in front of it. So normally when you're being aggressive, you want to put things on the edges so they're farther apart to block, but the fact that this is agile changes that dynamic.
A world of poisons.
This gives everything across from it blight. That's annoying.
Do we have a mission?
Do we have a mission? I think I'm in for wings. Trade this off. I'm gonna put like a chonky 10/10 down over here. They're at 9. Play my 10/10, go. So this is gonna die and go away because it's ephemeral. When this dies, it'll go to my bin. This is overrun too, right? Yeah. Alright, desperation cantrip sounds good. Even if they get an angel or blight here, that's fine for me. That's annoying. Not the end of the world, but annoying. Things currently have Slayer. So I can play Born Again. And then, right, I have Slayer and everything. So this has armor, but this will also have Slayer. So I can play this here. This can eat the Born again and then eat this. And then I pass back. Born again pops back up. They take 1 damage when they draw a card because of a freak. They can power this over and hit here. I also have a draw in the bank for my power as well. Putting them down to 8 enables Wonder Drug. Yikes. I'm really surprised they buffed this card in addition to nerfing aggro as much as they did.
Fortune favors us.
Wow, they're taking 2 more here from this. That feels good, especially with this here. If they don't have a way to deal with this, right? It's gonna just crunch them over. I have a hero power as well here. So let's start with this. See where we go. A variety of things that kill them. Neither of those do it though. Grab the one I can burn. Huh? Read for... I don't have a rush minion in my bin. If I suicide this, I still have these 3 things in my bin. Trapezists is lethal. I don't know, they're going to 1 next turn. I'm gonna play this out and actually just eat it. Wait. Oh, did I already do that? Oh, I can only sacrifice 1 thing per turn? I guess that makes sense. Yeah. It's gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be alright. Maybe I should have put Hopeless Necromantic into play, so that way if they killed the board, I would still have a unit. Yeah, I should have put Hopeless Necromantic over here. Is what I should have done. Ah, we'd have got there. Should have done it. All right, sweet, they're dead. I might need to replace my favorite card. The more I play this game, the more I think Trapezists might be my favorite card. It's just got so much utility in it. Just so much utility. Goodbye, friend. Yeah, I think so, Marty. I think this might be... This one's quickly becoming my favorite thing since the balance changes. And I suggest extract life in favor of wake the bones. That's true. That's true. The triple red kind of sucks too. I also haven't felt like I'm like looking for life. You want to wake the bones, really? Think that's necessary? I don't know that I want to wake the bones in my deck, but I do think extract life is probably bad. What are random mythics I'm not playing? Wake lets you reduce. It grabs things off the bottom. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's pretty low cost too, right? Yeah, I like it. Seems fine. Yeah, wings is real good. Wings does a lot of silly things. Depending on the duration, we'll probably play 1 or 2 more tonight. Yeah, another 20 minutes or so in me. Yeah, Raised Dead had to get nerfed here. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, big agree. Do I want another Fury? I don't know. Like, that's a lot of clunk in the trunk. It gives it ephemeral, Marty. So wake the bones now makes it ephemeral. So you can't like sit there and wake the bones the same thing over and over again. While we're waiting, I don't know what I did with it. Oh, there it is. So I showed this the other day, and it's super sweet. My art guy did a good job. One of the bit emotes. All right, we can do this in a second. One of the bit emotes is gonna be a jester that you can put next to eating the burrito. We're gonna have some burrito themed bit emotes. I'm excited. Turned out real good. All right, I'm on the play. What's this scene doing? I have a necromantic. I don't really have anything too great. I'm gonna burn the second gamayun. Ooh, there's a good one. Alright, so let's bin Chimera then. And go ahead and smack them, ditch the Irku.
What is lost?
Tradesies. Yeah, the strength of what this deck has going on when we're not just necromanticing has felt really good. Which I think that's something a lot of the other Reanimator style decks have lacked. I feel. Like, when they're not necromanticing, they're kind of mediocre. Oh, that's unfortunate. Surprise! Detained deported is the perfect answer because they get to eat this and then they get to deport the other thing. Man, it's a shame they have deported here to like get rid of my Irku because this was the perfect draw, right? It was the literal perfects. Yeah, do I just use the wings to get their accelerator off the table? I don't know. They didn't attack here, which means this will have to trade off next turn. I don't know. I think I'm just going to magmataur and then, like, play Oak over here. is my plan. Because this gets power back when it goes to their turn, so, like, they get to, like, trade here and then, like, deported this, but, like, they still technically 2 for 1 to kill this, right? I think Oven and Rankle have more play to them, just better. If you're looking to be more smorky, Circuit and Knights are definitely the better, more aggressive. But like, if you want a more variety of gameplay, Jund, Oven, and Rankle will probably give you more variety of gameplay. That trade-off happens. Okay. Then they get to deport this, sure. I'm gonna burn the wings here. But I'd rather deploy wings or this. I guess I want to get to triple green anyways. So yeah, so because I want triple green for this traitorous murmur down the line, I'm gonna go ahead and burn that one and deploy the wings. I also have a draw in the bank currently with my power, so when I flip this to the knight side, we'll get to Divination 2 draw a card. It's a lot of fun, Just Peter. My recommendation for Mythgard is definitely just give it an install, play through the tutorial, and then play with the feature decks that you get a little bit. So, they're going to have this, eat this, then they'll eat my tree. When the tree dies, they get to look at 3 and draw 1. I think I would like a Windfury. Hey, Just Peter. Thanks for the 2 months at that. I appreciate it. I watch more on YouTube, but it's good to catch a share in a while. I'm glad you enjoyed the YouTube stuff. Thanks for keeping me around making. I think I just burn Windfury, play Windfury. I could also just play Sideshow Chimera. The problem with Sideshow Chimera is if they deploy something in front of it, it's harder to traitorous murmur it. So I think I'm going to play Windfury, burn Windfury, and I can play Windfury here. And then Windfury can blast to kill this next turn, which is sweet. Yeah, the blast on this card's been really excellent. Well, that's a good draw. I'd like my toy back, please. I think whatever I'm taking here, I'm just burning. Getting up to 7 to 8 is pretty ideal here, I think. Draw 2 is pretty good. That's scary. Huh? You guys have to Sideshow Chimera at this point? Am I burning off Ringmaster here? I think I'm burning Traitorous Murmur. Yeah, I think I actually bin Murmur here, because then if I draw a card I can burn next turn, I can Ringmaster plus Fury in the same turn. I'll have 9 total. How many burned cards do I have in my deck? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 burned cards and 32 cards, so we're like 75% to get something we can burn next turn. They have 4 cards in their hand still. I'm at a virtual 8, possibly 7 with this. Interesting they just traded that there. Huh, their hand must be pretty bad, huh? Yeah, I can fit anything else in here with my foot. Think that's possible. All right, so I do this here. I burn this. I put ringmaster here.
In the center
This comes into play with rush. Oh, I'm so dumb. That doesn't work how I want it to work. Oh, and it's shielded anyways. Yeah, I'm dead. I don't think I had... My other line would have been drawing 2 cards, so I could have goldfished rabbited out 2 cards here, but... Yeah. Yeah, Beast was real good. Beast was real good. Yeah, warded protects from all non-combat damage. Prevents destroy effects and anything that's not combat damage. Get that. Completed a faction quest. Draw 60 green cards. Easy peasy. One of the things I love about the economy in this game is you can deconstruct wild cards you don't need, which is great. Working my way up towards my next mythic. Right. I don't know that I have any changes to make to this. Actually, what's it called? We were talking about, I'm not sure if, koschei is very good. The fact that he's just, like, deadly and can kill large minions like the warded actually seems pretty appealing. Is there anything to do with common and uncommon? There's not. They just sit there and rot and annoy you because you can't use them. I feel like I don't have any changes to make. I liked this deck overall. I feel like I'm pretty happy with where it ended up at. Slots that I'm not 100% certain on are like the Wake the Bones, the Raid the Tombs, the koschei, but like Wake the Bones and Raid the Tombs are like just good cards overall, so I'd be surprised if they're not very reasonable. This one I think is going to slide up to being this is definitely one of my decks that I've enjoyed playing the most since the latest set of changes. Really gets to leverage Wings of Abaddon elegantly, which is nice. Yeah, me too, Marty. Alright, that's going to be it for me for the evening. I'm going to go ahead and hit one more ad roll before I sign off so I can hit my quota for the evening. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll be back on Monday with some more Magic the Gathering. I'm going to do 2 to 3 Mythgard days next week at some point, but again, I don't think I'm going to be able to build them into my schedule. It's going to kind of play it by ear as the week goes. So be sure you're following me on Twitter for notifications on, I'm posting on Twitter again when I'm changing decks or changing games. So if you're not interested in Magic but interested in my Mythgard stuff, I'll post on Twitter when I'm changing to Mythgard for the day, as well as when I'm going live in general. Hey, King Grazi, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Hoaglandia. We're having an excellent day wherever you're at. Everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see some of y'all on Monday, hopefully.